Hello again. I hope you guys are doing well. Um, I'm going to talk to you about piece number two. The one, the topic is life, and the title of the piece is not just plain life. The title of the piece is "As We Say Yes to Him," and yeah, I was just going to talk a little bit about the process. I also have an entire Facebook album called The Process on my studio's Facebook page. If you guys want to go check it out, it's Stellar Propeller Studio, and you can just see some of the process because I can explain it, but it's fun to kind of see it as well. So for this one, I actually had an entirely different concept, not fully different, but initially I was just thinking about this verse. I'll read it. And this verse did remain kind of throughout the process of making the piece. But it's in Deuteronomy 30, and Deuteronomy is a phenomenal book. I know the Old Testament can be cumbersome and boring at times, but Deuteronomy, man, so good. So in Deuteronomy 30, starting at 11, and this is God talking to the nation of Israel. So I have the Bible here, so I'm just going to look down and read it because I haven't memorized the whole thing. It says, "This command that I give you today is certainly not too difficult or beyond your reach. It is not in heaven so that you have to ask, 'Who will go up to heaven, get it for us, and proclaim it to us so that we may follow it?' And it is not across the sea so that you have to ask, 'Who will cross the sea, get it for us, and proclaim it to us so that we may follow it?'" Love this part. "But the message is very near you, in your mouth and in your heart, so that you may follow it. See, today I have set before you life and prosperity, death and adversity. For I am commanding you today to love the Lord your God, to walk in his ways, and to keep his commands, statutes, and ordinances, so that you may live and multiply, and the Lord your God may bless you in the land you are entering to possess." And then I'll skip down towards the end. He says, "I call heaven and earth as witnesses against you today, that I have set before you life and death, blessing and curse. Choose life so that you and your descendants may live." And he goes on. But I just think it's really powerful, and I think we do have that choice. We can choose life every day. And we talked about this a little bit, honestly, with the speech piece, that there's life and death in the power of the tongue. And then we can also make these choices every day. And for me, when I think about life, there's also a verse in Acts, I believe 17. It says, "For in him we live and move and have our being." So I think it's just interesting that it's not in him that we just exist and just get by. It's in him we live, which to me is like thriving, and it's color instead of black and white, and so that's sort of the premise of that piece. As you can see, it kind of goes from black and white into color, and it goes from black and white into color as the subject in there is nodding. So there's that motion of saying yes, and I feel like it's in that motion of saying yes to God that he just opens up a whole world for us that we couldn't see, and it's creative and it's beautiful and it's unexpected and it's adventurous. And I think a lot of us, we kind of grew up thinking like if we say yes to him, then it's like we will follow these rules and life will be boring and yay. But I have found that in saying yes to him, he has taken me on some of the wildest adventures and given me some of the most incredible experiences that I've ever had. So yeah, that's been pretty big. And as far as the process, initially I wanted to have three different people looking different directions. So one straight and one this way and one this way. And so I photographed all these people to make that happen. And then in the end, I was like, this guy, so that guy's name is Yemi, and he owns a coffee shop here in Colorado Springs, and he's really great. So yeah, I just thought he looked really cool, honestly, and I liked his pose and how the shots turned out. So I chose him and just simplified it because it looked better. So I did the photographs first, and then I sort of did composite images from different photographs I'd already taken for the stuff that's kind of coming out of his head there. One of them is actually just the way the light comes in, actually probably like through this window back here. This is in my basement. Just welcome to my house. The way the light comes in through this window, it hits this wall sometimes, and it comes through the trees, and it makes this really like beautiful shadow on the wall. And one day I just really liked it, so I took a picture of it. And you never know when those things are going to come in handy. So I took that picture and kind of, cropped it and messed with the colors and some things like that. So I put all that stuff together in Photoshop and then had it printed on canvas, and then I went back with pen and ink and did some of the more detail work on the piece. And also I think I went back with some charcoal on Yemi a little bit, just to bring out different features. But that was sort of the premise of the piece, and yeah, it's just, I think it's a really meaningful idea and concept, and it's not always easy to say yes to him, but I feel like the world that he opens up when we start to is just totally worth it. So I hope you enjoy the piece, and I hope you will just take time to think about maybe ways that it's time to start saying yes to him.